from the home of the former Anniston Air Force Base, now known simply as Talladega. We say good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to round 7 of the 2024 eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. We're happy that you're with us on eNASCAR.com. Let's go racing at Talladega. Steady start, top side, the early advantage. It's a push to the 23, leading the outside line of the racetrack. That is Keegan Leahy with the nose in front. He's pushed by Keister on the inside of Malik Ray, pushed by the 99 of Matthew Zawak. And do we go a third lane already? The 38 car to the outside. It's Cozy, and everybody else going to go top side with them. And Malik also didn't seem too confident when he said that he had maybe 4, but he was already thinking, hey, gets to the white flag, they're probably not sticking with me. There's the obvious duos that we're going to look for, Blake. Obviously, the teammates that we look to be running together a lot of the time. Oh, for the 25! What a save! He still hangs on. Nick Ottinger keeps it out of the wall, and this race stays green after he nearly binned it from the front row.
And that's going to work against him. He almost needed to spin that out. He's going to lose the pack, and that's exactly what can happen as they exit the corner. You have to be aligned perfectly with the car that's in front of you, and Garrett Maines, Nick Ottinger were not. Maines was pushing, got a little bit offset, and then all of a sudden Ottinger goes around. Halfway, he saves it. Great job, but unfortunately for him, that's going to cost him the lead draft. He's already lost it, and in about, I don't know, 8 or 9 laps or so,
Field's going to have to constrict up as that 40 car of Dylan Alt gets lapped on the inside of the racetrack. It'll put him 4 wide for a moment in the tri-oval, but more than enough space for the leaders and everybody in the lead pack to be able to get on by. That happens without incident. Alton going to drop a lap down to the number 38 spot. The 12 of Garrett Maines also started back there with Wilson, started 31st in the field. But his 12 cars in the mix. The bottom's all kinds of out of shape. That's going to benefit Maines up on the outside as he's pushing the 10 of Wilson.
Yeah, Ray got out. It was actually Keister who was just behind Malik Ray that got out of shape, and even that second car in line having issues like that. You can see just how out of sorts that gets that line, and I mean, just look at the intensity here for Garrett Maines. Zeroed in, not blinking, looking up, looking at the back of Steven Wilson. Again, trying to line up. Remember, he spun Nick Ottinger a little bit earlier in the race, didn't bring out a caution, but Ottinger lost the draft. And again, there's so many drivers that have the opportunity to win this race, Evan. 31 cars attached to this lead pack. We dropped Timothy Holmes, Cody Bias, Derek Bordeaux, Seth the Merchant, and Vicente Salas out of that cycle. 31 cars still have an opportunity to win this race, and I don't think they're going to be waiting too much longer with 26 to go.
I don't often consider myself a pessimist, but those 23 laps still left on the board looking awfully long for us to be able to race like this to the end. Small 4-car break. They'll jump topside, looking to the bottom in that group and dropping down to the inside without any help. The 38 of Cozy, he will have to wait for the 23 machine to catch up. That's Keegan Leahy on the bottom. No interest in helping the 38. They'll go to the top side, and it's going to be from hero to zero for Cozy. Blink of an eye, he's outside of the top 15 just like that. And Malik Ray, who started up front, dropped back and rode around in the 30s before pit cycles. He is back on the front row.
Saw a little bit of smoke as he was kind of scraping the wall. Everything's okay. No further issues. Still 3 and 4 wide further back in the pack. Wilson trying to make a move for the lead. Salas is a lapped car and is blocking Wilson for the top spot. Now, Salas wouldn't be a lucky dog. He's at the tail end of the lead lap right now, so he's trying to get his lap back the old-fashioned way right now, but he nearly spun in front of the field.
Yeah, it was a bold move, and now 4 wide we go. The 5 is Zach Novak, going to put it to the inside, and it is getting awfully tight here at Talladega. The 11 instigating, the lucky dog trying to get back onto the lead lap. Look at the move there to the outside. The 88 car tries to sidestep, but Folkingham shuts the door on him. The Interstate Batteries car going to stay wide. Lapped cars to the inside, going to limit the space for the leaders. It's going to force us to go 4 wide again.
And again, I know there's going to be a lot of people that look at what Salas is doing and say, hey, lap car, get out of the way. You know what? I would look at this as, Evan, an opportunity. If I'm somebody who's trying to win this race, why not hook up with Vicente Salas right now? You can push him, he can push you, and you can help each other win this race. If Salas, if you're pushing him in front of you, who cares? You're still the leader if you're leading everybody else. So as much as, and I'm sure there's some folks in this pack who aren't very happy with the fact that he's battling up there with him right now, I look at it the opposite way. Can I help him help me in a way? And right now we'll see if somebody's willing to do that.
If/when something happens. 4 wide in the battle for P3 as pushed back to the race lead. Steven Wilson leads his 10th lap of the night. There's smoke and a spinner towards the back. Now the 55's into the outside wall, and we couldn't get away with it forever. Caution flag number 1 at lap 58. The 48 car, Graham Bolin, he's going to move topside. It's going to check up the 8 machine, to your point. That was Honeycutt. That's the first big spin there. They go down to the apron. The 33 machine, Hurst has got some damage. They're wrecking anyways. But then ahead of them, a whole separate accident around the 55.
Oh, and Alfala, or yes, that's Alfala kind of blocking that second group, stacked them up really bad, but Bowden was able to get to the back of him. Falkingham with the huge block went down to the bottom. He's now tandemed up. Now, again, one thing that these drivers do so well is you can't stay hooked up forever. You can see Novak right there. You have to lift. You could stay hooked up for about a lap at this point after a restart before you overheat. Zielinski with a huge block. Novak and LaPrade, they're all blocking, and it's not going to work out. Novak in a couple of cars hard into the outside wall as about 4 drivers back to back to back made a blocking move, and well, that just ended up being one too many.
Blocks from the 3 cars on the outside, and a bit of a lag. There goes the 18 topside, then the 5, then the 88, and it stacks them up.
Yeah, I was about to say that all starts with Tyler Gary trying to make a move. He has Kwame Scott behind him. He's formed up on the outside lane. Zielinski makes a block, and they make contact front nose to tail. And then as soon as they get hooked up, Novak reacts to that. He makes contact with Zielinski. LaPrade wants to keep the lead, and here we see Matthew Swag again. He has been busy tonight. Same deal, Falkingham clears, he gets up to the top, he goes back to the bottom. White wasn't willing to push him, is now Bowden with Parker White, Dylan Duval, 3-4 cars all lined up, side drafting and pushing each other. Bowden's out of shape, LaPrade and Falkingham trying to go to the top, and that's not going to work. Parker White turned around in front of the field as LaPrade spinning as well, and the caution flag is out yet again.
They look to the flag stand. Green flag in the air. 2 laps to go.
Falkingham did not go early. He let the flagman bring that out. That's going to keep them stacked up 2 wide. Guest tried to make a move with Cozy. They got out of shape. So now 3 lanes working. Matt Booster trying to lead that middle line, but the bottom 4 cars all lined up for now. Falkingham getting a shove from Colin Bowden.
Falkingham's going to bring it all the way up the hill, but it's not going to matter. Crashing behind, Honeycutt in front of the field. There they go again. Green flag in the air. It's eNASCAR overtime, attempt number 2.
There's a little bit of a stack up there with Duval getting hooked up with Bowden. But Falkingham going to have a little bit of a lead. That may be enough unless he comes up to clear. He's not going to be able to complete it. So Bowden, that outside lane, even right now as Duval separates now. Lowe is shoved out of line. But Colin Bowden, with help from Dylan Duval, is going to be your leader as they wreck behind.
30 cars strong, 2 by 2, coming to the start-finish line. Green flag in the air. It's a big jump for the 17.
He waits for the lane change. He goes up to the top. Is Duval going to stick with him? For now, he does. Yes, trying to make that third lane work, but nobody goes with him.
41 look topside, got around the 17, but nobody else bit, went back down to the bottom. It's Bowden leading the inside. The 41's into the outside wall. 3 wide to the middle goes Tucker Minter. They're all over each other, crashing down the back straightaway. Caution flies. Who was in front? Duval and Minter side by side when the lights came on, and it may just go to Dylan Duval.
I think he's going to have here. Tucker Minter was so close. I mean, it had to be a couple of feet that decided this one. But they weren't able to work it out, and Dylan Duval is going to get the job done. And again, to Duval, it all counts the same. He's able to get the job done, and again, had to make a huge save on the backstretch. I thought he was the one that was getting turned and going into the wall off of 2. He was the one that was sideways. He kind of had to use the wall to correct that race car. They're all bouncing off of each other, and yet he still is able to keep it going in the right direction. And not only that, but because iRacing freezes the field, they go back to kind of the timing loops like we do in real life. He had to keep his speed up despite the fact that he was saving that race car, and he was able to do it to win.
It's a popular win amongst the drivers. This winning moment is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official fan refreshment of eNASCAR. And after 8 years, Dylan Duval is back in eNASCAR victory lane. It's career win number 2, and the first win for the new Nitro Circus sim racing team headed by Travis Pastrana. So many good storylines in this one as Duval finds victory lane in Talladega, leading only the final 2 laps of the race.